From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is a Varsity Update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Our Friday Night Lights series continues into the playoffs, this week one of the high school football playoffs, and Scott Wright joins us on the phone. Scott, a team that made the playoffs last year for the first time in a long time is back, and that's Geary, and they're led by a guy that has quite the backstory. Give us a little sneak peek into your Friday Night Lights.
Well, Jenny, it is a really interesting story. The coach's name is Stephen Wilson. He's 28 years old. This is just his second year as a head coach, just his third year in coaching, period. He stepped in at Geary last year, took them to the playoffs in his first season. This year they were 9-0 going into last week's game against Ellick, who's the #1 team in the class, and they lost that one. Finished the regular season 9-1. Now they go into the playoffs for the second straight year. But Stephen Wilson is a very interesting guy. His parents died when he was 6 years old. His father had been in prison when he was younger and contracted the AIDS virus. Came out of prison, did not tell his wife at the time that he had AIDS, and she contracted it as well. They both died when he was 6 years old. He lived with his grandmother, along with his half-sister and his 3 cousins, with his grandmother in her 2-bedroom mobile home, and grew up a fairly poor life. They did what they had to do to get by. He came into contact with a family of teachers, the Broadbent family, who were there at the time working at Kingfisher. When he got out of high school, his grandmother had gotten sick and couldn't take care of him anymore, so they took him in. They helped him get through college after a couple of years off. They put him through college at Oklahoma State. He got into coaching first at Cashin, and then landed at Geary, and it's been nothing but success ever since he stepped foot on the campus there at Geary. It's been a phenomenal turnaround for a team that hadn't been to the playoffs at all since 1991, and really hasn't had much football success, period, in the history of the program. It's you talk about Geary and everybody starts talking about wrestling, and that's what matters out there. But he's got the football program going, and people are really excited about it.
You know, Scotty, lastly, you mentioned his backstory. It's unbelievable. And he's obviously got great football knowledge, or his team wouldn't be to the playoffs for the second straight year. But his background, I have to think that helps him connect with his players too, sort of the on-the-field and off-the-field stuff that he can bring to the table.
Absolutely. When you look at the community of Geary, it's it's a tiny town, a country town, a lot of kids that have come up with tough upbringing. Maybe they're not living with their parents, maybe they're living with their grandparents. They've dealt with different things that he's experienced over his lifetime. And not only is he a good football coach, a very charismatic person who people are just drawn to him naturally, but he has these experiences that help him look a kid in the eye and say, listen, I've been there, I know what you're going through. Let's talk about this and see what we can do to deal with it. And that was a big part of why Superintendent Todd Glasgow hired him in the first place, was because he thought that he was a perfect fit for it. And it's been nothing but a perfect fit all the way. And this was a very important hire for Todd Glasgow, because his son was a freshman on the team at the time. So when you're hiring a guy to come in and coach your kid, it's not like you're just grabbing the first guy off the street. So, but it's gone incredibly well, and his history absolutely helps him connect to these kids, and it's been perfect for them.
Well, you want to check out Scott's Friday Night Lights on Geary. That'll be in your Friday Oklahoman as well as on News OK. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.